The Winnipeg Jets versus the St. Louis Blues. And we'll call it the Cinderella story, St. Louis Blues. Does that sound familiar? Well, it's Connor Hellebuyck versus Jordan Binnington. Now, Jordan Binnington has a storied history. If you take a look at what he did for the St. Louis Blues to win a Stanley Cup, coming from last place, going on that huge march, and winning in Game 7. He also won at the Four Nations face-off when people doubted him. So you could say, hey, does Jordan Binnington get the edge in net? I still am going to go with Connor Hellebuyck. You look at Connor Hellebuyck's body of work last season into this season. I think this season he's going to win the Hart Trophy as the best player in the National Hockey League. So you do have to give the edge to the guy who has been unbelievable for over a calendar year. Now, that being said, Hellebuyck didn't have his best playoff last year, so he still has something to prove. I would think that it's kind of a matched situation where you've got Binnington head-to-head against Hellebuyck. It should almost be even, but I'm going to give the edge slightly to Hellebuyck based on what he's been able to do. Now he's got to go out and prove it, that he can do it in the playoffs and take them on a deep run. Hellebuyck has been fantastic all season long. He's the pillar of consistency. He's big. He's strong in the net. He limits his movement. He allows the pucks to go around him. The Winnipeg Jets play off of him. He plays off of them. They're a terrific team. Jordan Binnington, he's a wild card, but I'm still going with Connor Hellebuyck, slight edge for the Winnipeg Jets. The LA Kings versus the Edmonton Oilers. It's Stuart Skinner versus Darcy Kemper. The edge goes to Darcy Kemper for the LA Kings for two reasons. First reason, Darcy Kemper has won a Stanley Cup, so he's been there and done that. Yes, for the Colorado Avalanche, a different team, but Kemper has gone through the rigors of being a starter in the regular season and then finishing it and raising Lord Stanley's Cup. Secondly, you look at Kemper's season this season for the LA Kings. He's been fantastic. He's going to get Vezina votes. He's been that good. And you look at his home record, he's been unreal for that group. So he's settled in. They have a good team game in front of him. So I would give the edge for two reasons to the LA Kings and Darcy Kemper. That being said, Stuart Skinner has had an inconsistent season. Yes, he went to Game 7 at the Stanley Cup final last year. He's a big goaltender, uses his size to his advantage. He's calm and poised in the net, but he's had an up and down season. Even look at his goals saved above expectation. It's a little bit lower than he'd want it to be. He has been inconsistent, and you couple that with an injury here near the end of the season, he is the underdog in net. He's got a lot to prove. That's not saying that he won't be able to do it, but right now the edge goes to Darcy Kemper, who has been there and done that, and the LA Kings are looking to upset the Edmonton Oilers. The Montreal Canadiens versus the Washington Capitals. This is the matchup everybody wanted to see, especially in Montreal, as they got hot down the stretch. So it's Samuel Montembeault versus Logan Thompson. Now, this is a pick'em for me because I think you can make a case for both goaltenders. Let's start in Washington. Logan Thompson gets acquired in the offseason. He only has 4 games of playoff experience, so it's not a wealth of experience, but he's been in Vegas where they know how to win. And he's had an unbelievable season as far as statistically, goals saved above expectation. He's a lefty goaltender, so that sometimes jams up shooters where guys have their favorite spots, what they like to pick, and all of a sudden a glove is there instead of a blocker. So that does mess with the psyche of a shooter a little bit. Now let's slide over to Montreal. Samuel Montembeault is calm, cool, and collected, and he knows how to play in big moments. And what I mean by that is the Bell Center is big moments. That's like a nightclub in there. So it's loud, it's aggressive. That building is tough to play in, and he seems to flourish in those type of environments. So Montembeault, I can make a case for him even though he doesn't have any playoff experience. Obviously, he went to the World Championships, had success there. He was around the Four Nations face-off in a winning environment, didn't get to play, but got to see the process. So both of them have a lack of experience. They're both terrific goaltenders. It's a pick-em on how the team is going to play in front of them. They both are great goaltenders. It's a 50-50 battle. We'll see who comes out on top. The Battle of Ontario. It's the Ottawa Senators versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. And you've got Anthony Stolarz in net for the Leafs and Linus Ullmark for the Ottawa Senators. Now, this one is a lot closer than people think. If you look at Anthony Stolarz, yes, he has 0 starts in the playoffs, 1 career appearance in a blowout game last year where the Edmonton Oilers beat the Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup final. But Anthony Stolarz has had a terrific season. He's had a career high in starts. Goals saved above expectation has been very good for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's a big 6'6" goaltender that's athletic in the net. Now the challenge is lack of experience, and what I just laid out, because Stolarz hasn't even played starter minutes. He's only started 32 games in the National Hockey League this season. So when you're looking at it, that's the biggest challenge is sample size. You don't have a long record for him deep into the playoffs. Now you slide over to the other side, it's equally the same. Linus Ullmark doesn't have a deep playoff run, but he has started games in the playoffs and been effective for the Boston Bruins. Now, he is a starter in the National Hockey League, plays more in the 45 to 50 game range, and he's a terrific goaltender capable of stealing games. If I looked at raw ability, I do believe that Ullmark is a better goaltender than Stolarz, but that's not the case here. I think they're neck and neck. Both of them handle the puck well. Both of them have a nice demeanor in the net. They have a really solid butterfly. Their rebound control is solid. Linus Ullmark has a terrific glove hand. I think Stolarz battles in the net and works for second and third opportunities. So it's neck and neck. The only reason I would give the edge to Linus Ullmark is he's played more games in the league, a little bit more experience. But that being said, Anthony Stolarz is right there for the red-hot Toronto Maple Leafs. So it's a coin flip in net for the Battle of Ontario. We'll see who comes out on top.